For the last month or so, we've been covering this brewing war between Donald Trump and the state propaganda wing of his government, that would be Fox News. And apparently there was more going on behind the scenes that we actually knew. Let me catch you up and then we'll show what he's been doing behind the scenes to try to get them in line. So it sort of started, at least publicly, back at 10 a.m. August 28th when he lashed out at Fox News for, quote, heavily promoting Democrats. His response to a segment that featured the Democratic National Committee's communications director. He took to Twitter again a few minutes later, accusing Fox of, quote, letting millions of great Americans down. And look, there were many, many tweets that followed that, attacking Fox News in general, implying that his followers should watch some other network, attacking individual hosts. That was all public. Behind the scenes though, on occasions when he's unhappy with the network's coverage, he picks up the phone and calls Fox News CEO Suzanne Scott to complain. A Trump administration aide and a second Fox News employee told The Atlantic. The conversations apparently don't go well for him though, because again, behind the scenes, he's had all of these outbursts, these hissy fits, and supposedly, at least from inside sources in Fox News, they don't really care, and they think that in this relationship, they actually have the leverage. He definitely thinks he does. He thinks that if he wants to, He can take his base and he can send them to OAN or whatever. But Fox thinks that they actually have a better hold on his voters than he does. What do you think about that?
He wants it to be Trump TV. He wanted to do Trump TV. He never thought he was going to win the election, that he was going to have his own media empire, and that it would all just be Trump, 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 Trump. And he doesn't realize that this is an organization that, while it is largely licking the boot of Donald Trump, sometimes it strays just a tad from the exact kind of coverage that he may want. He can't fathom that. And I like how that Atlantic article went 10 a.m. August 28th. It began, like, hence known as
like
F Day.
60 minutes or something.
Yeah, Fox, like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the bomb was dropped on Twitter. Yeah, that is true. My advice to him would be just don't watch Shep Smith, man. I know that there are Twitter accounts that if I go to it, I'll be enraged. So I don't. Don't watch Shep Smith, okay? Or
maybe,
Chris Wallace, maybe.
Why are you giving him that advice? Because perhaps it will penetrate his teeny brain.
I doubt it.
I know, we're fighting a losing battle here.
I'm not convinced he watches the show, but we'll see. So let me give you a little more information. Suzanne Scott says, or an associate of Suzanne Scott says, they're not afraid of One American News. They know there's nowhere else for their audience to go. I've watched a little bit of One American News. It's like if a sketch comedy group in a high school made a parody of Fox News, they'd have One American News. It is so pathetic and amateurish.
And the entire Fox News audience is 65 plus, and so they don't even know how to change the channel on their fancy new remote at this point. So it's stuck there permanently. The audience isn't going anywhere, Donald Trump. So you can cry about it all you want, but they're also incentivized not to be intensely critical of him too, because that's what their audience wants. So it's a symbiotic, parasitic relationship, or no, I'm mixing them up. It's a symbiotic relationship.
There's a lot of little creatures eating the flesh of both of them.
Right. Who's the whale though, Trump or Fox News?
I don't want to fat shame, but Trump in that particular case. So look, one of the interesting developments here I noticed on Twitter, a friend of the show, Jordan Ewell, he had a little bit of video from Trump's rally last night. And it seems like this feud, some of Trump's fans are actually looking to stoke it a little bit further. Take a look at this video. So that is a Trump fan just yelling at him like, hey, talk about Fox News, boss man. It's like at like a Brian Regan show, people are yelling out, the yellow one is the sun, like trying to get him to do his best hits or something.
No one gets that reference.
No one? Brian Regan is a famous comedian. No?
All right, well, fine.
He's very good, you should listen to it.
Okay.
Anyway, I saw him in person, it was great.
But I really like how it just it gets louder and louder every time. Hey, Fox News. Hey, Fox News. And then it's just, we love you.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, was he trying to address Fox News in the media pit, or was he trying to get Donald Trump to talk about it?
I think he was trying to get Donald Trump to talk about it, which is possible. Like his mind is Swiss cheese, he can be diverted. So because we're talking about Trump fans, I'm actually curious, you've had far more conversation with them in their element, in their natural domain, which is a Trump rally, than I have. What about Fox News and Trump? Like they like both. If it came down to it,
Oh, you know the answer already. It's Trump, because they
So what do they do for news?
I mean,
just Twitter, Trump?
Yeah, Alex Jones. You can go into internet wormholes. There are even some on the progressive side or on the leftist side that we've talked about where they just tell you what you want to hear. And there's plenty of that when it comes to Donald Trump online. And don't worry, he will always have Sean Hannity in his corner, who's going to say and do whatever he said, who addressed supporters at that rally. The crossover was very much complete at that point.
Yeah.
So there will always be at least one voice on Fox News who will be entirely sycophantic and in favor of whatever Donald Trump does. So don't worry, Trump fans, you'll always have a home at Fox.
Yeah, and look, Laura Ingraham, obviously, I would say Tucker Carlson too. I know that he tries to delude people with his fake populism and pretending that he gives a damn about wars abroad when he will support literally every Republican president for the rest of his life. But there's a lot of hours that are solid pro-Trump. So anyway, we'll see if Boss Man does attack them again in the future. It'll be interesting to see once we get closer to the election if there are more in his pocket at that point. Here on the Damage Report, we talk a lot about the big banks and their ways of getting rich off the poor. They saturate the market, but there are other options. And I've got info on a socially and environmentally responsible financial institution that has no ATM fees, gives you cash back on every purchase. They even commit 10% of their earnings to charity. It's called Aspiration, and if you go to aspiration.com/TYT to sign up, you'll get these perks, and that's more money to spend or to save or to spend. Just treat yourself.